Hello, you're tuning in to VNA News Daily Bulletin. Coming up next, we have your top stories.
Legislative leader visits House number 67 in tribute to President Ho Chi Minh. Economic ministers from 12 member nations sign Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. Flower festivals color Ho Chi Minh City.
On February 4th, the National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng offered incense in tribute to late President Ho Chi Minh at House number 67 in Hanoi on the occasion of the traditional Lunar New Year.
Located in the President Ho Chi Minh relic site, House number 67 was named after the year 1967 when it was built, in which the late leader worked and passed away. It's also a meeting venue for the Politburo during the war. Talking with staff and officials of the relic site, National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng asked staff and officials of the President Ho Chi Minh relic site to work harder to preserve priceless mementos, reminding the life and career of the great leader. The same day, the top legislator offered incense in tribute to late General Võ Nguyên Giáp. General Giáp, who masterminded the defeats of France and the US, and whose name is closely linked to the historic 1954 Dien Bien Phu victory that put an end to French colonial rule in Vietnam.
We have more news coming up next. Stay tuned.
On February 4th, Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc met Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhơn, Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Shanghai Executive Council, ahead of the Lunar New Year. Deputy Prime Minister Phúc noted the achievements made by the Vietnam Buddhist Shanghai over the recent years. He affirmed that the country's socio-economic progress in 2015, including the success of the 12th National Party Congress, was the result of the positive contributions made by the party, people, and religious communities, including the Vietnam Buddhist Shanghai. The Deputy Prime Minister expressed his hope that the Buddhist followers will continue to work towards national development. At a separate meeting with Archbishop Bùi Văn Đọc, President of the Vietnam Catholic Church's Episcopal Council, Deputy Prime Minister Phúc stated that last year Vietnam raked in significant achievements with a stable macroeconomy and a GDP growth of 6.68%. He said the achievements were contributed by the Episcopal Council and the Catholic community. He reiterated that the state respects the people's rights to freedom of religion and belief, and pursued a consistent policy of ensuring the legitimate rights and interests of religious followers. The Deputy Prime Minister said he hopes that the Council will continue to encourage its followers to actively participate in national development.
Economic ministers from 12 member nations signed the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement in Auckland, New Zealand in the morning of February 4th. Minister of Industry and Trade Vũ Huy Hoàng represented Vietnam to ink the deal.
New Zealand Prime Minister John Key said it was an honor for his country to be an active member throughout the negotiation process and host the signing ceremony. He stressed that the TPP agreement will help liberalize trade across the region and bring benefits to all member countries as well as their citizens. The member states now have 2 years to complete domestic procedures for the ratification of the TPP. The pact will take effect when ratified by parliaments of at least 6 signatory countries, which comprise a minimum of 85% of all members' overall GDP. This means that the two biggest economies, namely the US and Japan, must be among the 6 members.
Following the signing ceremony, ministers representing the 12 member nations issued a joint statement affirming the signing of the TPP is an important milestone, opening up a new stage for the trade deal. The TPP started out as P4 with Chile,
New Zealand, Singapore and Mexico. The US joined in September 2008 and Vietnam in early 2009. The deal now brings together 12 countries, including Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, the US and Vietnam. The pact aims to break down trade and investment barriers between these countries with 800 million people, which account for 30% of global trade and about 40% of the world's GDP. TPP negotiations began in March 2010 and concluded in October 2015 after 19 rounds. The full text of the deal was released a month later. Most contents of the agreement have remained unchanged by members apart from some technical aspects. Vietnam is expected to gain significant benefits from the TPP as the pact is projected to help expand the country's GDP by $23.5 billion by 2020 and $33.5 billion by 2025. Domestic sectors producing apparel, footwear and timber will be among the beneficiaries. However, challenges stemming from local economic scale and quality compared to other members are likely to pose a problem.
These days, officers, soldiers and residents living in Trường Sa Island district of central Khánh Hòa province are joining compatriots nationwide to welcome the traditional Lunar New Year festival. More in the following report.
More than 400 tons of Tet gifts, fresh food and foodstuff and other necessities have been shipped to the district with the hope of bringing a warm Tet festival to soldiers and people there.
We have received great care from the Defense Ministry, sectors, organizations and people nationwide. While enjoying Tết, we are always ready for fighting to safeguard the fatherland's sacred sovereignty. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the people in the mainland for their care. It gives us more motivation to fulfill the duty of protecting our sacred sea and islands. I wish all officers, soldiers and residents in Trường Sa Island district a happy Tết. Wish you always unite to safeguard our national sovereignty.
The special care from the mainland gives the officers and soldiers the feeling as if they are welcoming Tet at home and encourage them to firmly safeguard the fatherland's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Ensuring food hygiene and safety in the southern largest economic hub of Ho Chi Minh City is considered as an important task of the city's management agencies, especially when the Lunar New Year festival is approaching. A range of measures have been deployed to fulfill this assignment.
Prior to traditional festival, the city already set up 405 inspection delegations at all levels to examine ways of ensuring food hygiene at local establishments. They have discovered over 600 out of nearly 2,000 inspected establishments violating food hygiene and safety regulations.
Relevant agencies from the city to district levels have taken drastic measures to strengthen inspections at establishments and over different commodities.
Inspections focused on establishments producing particular necessities, such as confectioneries, dry food, drinking water, as well as livestock breeding farms and slaughters. Recently, these products were found to contain forbidden residues, toxic chemicals, and excessive additives. Besides, producers, distributors, and traders have also acknowledged the importance of ensuring food origins, hygiene, and safety to win consumers' trust.
The government has adopted major measures to implement the country's 2016 Socio-Economic Development Plan and state budget. More details coming up next.
The government recently issued Resolution No. 1, revealing some key objectives for this year. Accordingly, the government strives to bring the country's economic growth to 6.7% and export turnover to 10%. It also inclines towards the target of reducing the multidimensional poor households rate to between 1.3% and 1.5%. To ensure macroeconomic stability and control inflation, the government has asked all relevant agencies nationwide to maximize efforts to carry out the assigned tasks. To achieve these targets, the State Bank was required to implement all monetary tools and policies to stabilize the foreign currency market in line with the development of the national macroeconomy. The resolution has listed some key measures to help achieve the national budget target. One of the measures is to strictly implement the tax law and state budget collection missions. In 2016, Vietnam vows to strictly control public debt, government debt, as well as foreign debt, as written in the National Assembly resolution. The resolution calls on the Ministry of Industry and Trade to work out policies to diversify import markets to avoid heavy dependence on a certain market, while taking measures to promote exports in a sustainable manner. The ministry should adopt effective measures to increase exports to potential markets, particularly commodities with high added value and high export turnover.
A more than 100-year-old banyan tree in the central province of Bình Định has been certified as a Vietnamese heritage tree. Let's take a look. A ceremony to announce the status was held in Hoài An district on February 3rd. Located in An Thìn commune, Hoài An district, the ancient banyan is over 30 meters in height and 10 meters in diameter. In 2011, the Vietnam Association for Conservation of Nature and Environment launched a program to conserve Vietnam's heritage trees, aiming to select and honor the country's heritage trees in a bid to conserve their gene sources, while raising public awareness of protecting the environment. It also contributes to promoting the diversification and abundance of Vietnam's flora, as well as developing scientific research in the field. The number of recognized heritage trees is currently around 970. As the Lunar New Year or Tết is approaching, Ho Chi Minh City becomes more colorful with a wide range of flowers displayed at local markets and festivals to serve buyers and visitors. More the following. The flower market at September 23rd Park is the largest of its kind in the city. Popular flowers and trees taken from all regions of the country, such as apricot blossom, sunflower, marigold, kumquat, lily and peach blossom are being put for sale at the market.
The flowers are very fresh and beautiful with reasonable prices. I have bought a lot of flowers to decorate my house.
This year's weather is favorable for the growth of flowers, especially apricot blossom, a typical flower for Tết in the city. Apart from the market in the park, apricot blossom is also put for sale at several other places in the city. At the same time, the city's traditional Spring Flower Festival is being held at Tao Dan Park. The festival gathers more than 3,000 exhibits, including various types of flowers, bonsai, fish, and rock sculptures. During the festival, themed Peace, Integration, Development, visitors will have a chance to enjoy art performances, folk games, and photo and calligraphy exhibitions. We have reached the end of our news bulletin. Thank you for your attention. For more information, please log on to our website at www.vietnamplus.vn. We'll see you soon.